Hello, welcome again. So today I don't have a lot of new features to show you, but there is one thing that I would like to show you that I've been working on. And before that, let me just get through the news, quick update on everything. So first of all, today is a bad day to be doing demos, but I have some time today to record the video, so here I am. OpenAI is going through some hard times today since yesterday or since for a couple of hours we've been having a lot of downtime in all services including API, Playground, ChatGPT, etc. So let's see if this doesn't affect us in the demo that I want to show you here. So also I haven't been, like I said last time, I haven't been putting a lot of effort in working new features into this project. I have been talking and creating conversations, and right now my data as of now has 281 JSON lines, so I'm reaching 300. And I said in the last video that I would wait for the 400 to do the export and do another fine tuning. But I think I can't resist. As soon as I hit 300, I'm going to do another fine tune and see if I can find a little bit of improvements, because I'm really dying to get to use the fine-tuned models instead of the base models, because it's so much work editing the messages to fix everything all the time. So that's one thing. The other thing is I finished last video talking about LangChain. I've been exploring it a little bit more, and it's super interesting. And like I said, I can't use this directly into my project, but I'm definitely going to take some ideas here, and I think I'm going to use some of these chaining and tools into my agent, into my chatbot assistant. So as you know, my main purpose is to develop a really useful assistant, and of course, this project is about emulating a mind, so memorization, reflection, reflecting on thoughts, etc. But I would also like to make it into an assistant that I can use from Telegram, so that I can use it for my smartphone, for example. So for that, there's really a high priority in getting it to do things outside of the scope of chatting. So this tool idea, the concepts that the LangChain introduces here on the agents and the chainings with the tools is really interesting, because you can get it to do things outside the scope of what it's designed for. So I've done a little bit of experiments, not with code directly, but just on the OpenAI playground, using a little bit of the output that I get from my prompts, and tweaking it a little bit to see how I could fit these ideas from LangChain into it. And I've got some really cool results. It will take a lot of work, but I'm definitely going to try this out. I managed, for example, to say, hey, please shut down my computer, and it runs the command to shut down the computer and stuff like that. So it's pretty interesting. It opens a lot of possibilities, especially when I think about a real assistant that should, for example, know your calendar, and I can ask, how is my week looking so far? What events do I have scheduled? Something like that, and it can actually get that data and then pass it through the prompt and to another prompt and get me a final result based on the question that I asked that uses that information. This is really interesting. So I'm definitely going to explore this. Not, I don't have any, urgency to do it, but it's definitely going to be something to be explored. So what I want to show you today is something completely different, something that I've been working on. And actually, this came from an idea. I was listening to a podcast on AI, an interview with Sam Altman, the founder, the CEO of OpenAI. And there's one guy, this one interview was before the interview started. They were just chatting about stuff they do with ChatGPT. People do all kinds of things. And so this guy was telling how he got him to prepare him a list of shopping items. So he would say, I'm going to do my weekly shopping. This is the stuff I'm going to be buying. Please organize these by the aisle on the supermarket and give me the quantities for 1 week for 2 people. And it works. It's something really easy, of course, for ChatGPT to do. And I thought, wow, that's a really cool idea. I can try to do this also, because many times I go shopping, I have a list which in completely random order, which is not very useful. Then you're like visiting the same places repeatedly because the list is disorganized. So I thought, why don't I get my own oops, sorry, doesn't belong here. Why don't I get my own assistant to do this for me? So look at this. Let me show you instead of just talking. I will say, for example, prepare my shopping list for today, and I'm going to be buying rice, kitchen paper, bread, butter, peanut butter, toilet paper, milk, tomatoes, oranges. Okay, something like this. And now, fingers crossed, of course, let's hope OpenAI is not crashed. Let me see if everything is running on the background. It seems to be okay. And there you go. So as you see here, it organizes by category. So I didn't ask him to do by aisle or anything like that, but by category. So usually you get these things together in the supermarket, and also it is including the quantities for 4 people for 1 week. Now, what is interesting here, if you notice, I didn't tell him to do this. I didn't tell him to organize it by category. I didn't tell him the quantities. It's not here, and it's not fine-tuned for doing this, of course, and it's not in the prompt because this is just a prompt, generic. A very generic prompt for a chatbot. So where is all this magic coming from? So this is what I'm exploring now, is how can I train behaviors? How can I teach new behaviors, new skills to pick up an input and output in a specific format, in a specific way? So it's not as magical as you might think it is. It's actually quite simple. So if we take a look at the metadata, the analyzer picks up memories, which is going to pick up based on everything that I've talked before. And then look at this. There is this memory here that says, whenever I am asked to prepare a shopping list, I will write back the list with the given items grouped by category and include each category name. By default, I should also add in the quantities for each item, considering the needs of a 4-person family for 4 days. Actually, 4 days, not a week. So based on this, he has the memory that I taught him to do this. So every time I'm going to ask him to prepare the shopping list, this is included in his memories. So he kind of remembers what was taught and he does it as it's supposed to be done. Now, I think this is really cool because this is actually a learned behavior in an initial stage. So when we learn something new, and you know, if I was teaching like I don't know, a 5-year-old to do this, every time I ask him to do a shopping list, he's going to his memories and come back with all the memories of what I told him to do, right? And then in a very conscious way, he would process all the information and write it down. Now, when we learn a behavior and we do it once, twice, 100 times, we no longer have all this conscious process of information. It becomes ingrained. It becomes part of the neural network, so to speak. So it becomes natural. It becomes a habit for us, right? So this is how I think this will actually play out. Because when I do this 100 times, and then we enter that idea of the continuous fine-tuning, then even if that memory is not here anymore, the behavior is learned because it's part of the new model. So I think this is really mimicking what a mind does. Initially, it's in the memory. So the memory is part of the prompt. So in a way, it is in the prompt. But after I do this so many times, that behavior becomes part of the fine-tuning. And so later, even if that memory is removed, or if for some reason it's not selected, and if I say, here's my shopping list, he's probably going to figure it out exactly what to do, because it becomes a natural process, so to speak. So this is really cool. Of course, that this memory was, I experimented a lot, because this is kind of mini prompt engineering. So I had to tune it a lot to get the right output. And now what I'm going to play with is teaching him how to absorb new behaviors. So in a way, I want to teach him to, when I want to teach something new, you write a proper memory like this. So as you see, he's going to many times record memories where very, very, very shallow, very brief, very useless. So I want him that when I'm teaching something new, he writes something extremely detailed so that he knows exactly what to do when this memory is again recalled. So I think this is pretty interesting, and definitely something that I'm going to explore more. And yeah, so this is all I wanted to show you today, just a quick update to make sure for everyone to make sure that I'm not dead yet. And I hope to come back again soon with more news, and thanks for watching.